What do you predict AI is going to do to things? Right. This kind of relates to
Oh, it's gonna be
what you
easy.
ended that with. Go
This will
ahead.
be easy, and it'll affect both genders in the community at some point. But the first thing it's going to do is humble the women that said they don't need men. When your desk job can be automated, when your comfortable job in the air conditioned space no longer is needed because the AI can just do it. They have AI right now that's coming out with better, more accurate, and more robust diagnostic results than licensed doctors and clinicians that have worked for 20 years. So some of the jobs that's probably most likely to be replaced first are the ones that don't require manual labor. Who who dominates the manual labor jobs? Men. If I lose my job, I can go on a construction site tomorrow. I can start digging holes. I'll do the dirty work. I'll be carrying trash. I have the anatomy be able to kind of adjust and deal with that. A lot of y'all ain't gonna be standing on top of roofs. A lot of y'all not gonna be sitting outside for 8 to 12 hours. So the first thing that's probably gonna happen is a recognition and a reestablishment that perhaps they do need men after all. Then eventually it'll hit the men too. And if and when it hits the men, and you have a huge segment of the population, a huge segment that's now homeless, jobless, the government's now going to have to intervene because they allowed it to get to this point.
Almost kind of like Andrew Yang. Remember, he used to talk about UBI.
Universal UBI.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the problem with that. When you move closer and closer to a socialist or Marxist utopia, you've effectively given your existence and ability to survive completely into the hands of the state. Everything. Well, you can't work. You can't produce your own. What's to invest? Everything you get in terms of food and resources and everything is now from the state. You've now handed over all of your freedom to be able to do, move, act. So when the state says we need rations, and when the state says here's the curfew, and when the state says the power gets shut off at 10 p.m. every night. Okay? So if we don't in real time, as AI is developing, is developing way faster than I realized.
So right? I had there's a former Google I don't know if he's an executive.
Developer or executive.
Right,
yeah.
Developer, right? And he was talking about it. He said that AI right now that they were developing has an IQ of about 150, which is insane.
Yes.
Right? They said by next year it'll be 1,600. So just think about that. The rate, what people don't understand is the scale, the rate of advancement that AI is making to the point where it will be able to develop and build and everything. They already have brick and mortar jobs that are taking over.
I've seen them doing. I'm seeing them doing a little bit of construction stuff.
Right. So some of that is coming. That I think, but it's even difficult to predict when it's going to happen because the rate of development is nothing like we've ever witnessed before. You can kind of tell 10 years we'll be doing this. 20 years you used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that. It's absurd. You just don't know.
It's going to replace all the women that's on OnlyFans.
That's what I was going to say. It already started.
Yes.
That's already started right now. There are. I follow one of the AI virtual not for let's
bro, we're gonna have a conversation after this. What's going on?
Because I'm so fascinated with technology, and this is something that I try to bring to the spaces that I'm in. I want to see what the advancement is like. I remember the first couple of videos. I'm like, oh snap, they're getting better. And once in a while, you'll flick through, it'll pop up. You'll be like, oh, that's an AI joint. Yeah. But it's getting more and more and more difficult. Like last year's AI ain't even this year's AI. If you look at it, that little thing they had with the rock. That thing they had with the rock, that was like it's looking so primitive. Now it's very difficult for you to even be able to understand what's the differences now. So I'm like, ugh. And I was saying this on one of the shows, and they were looking at me like I had two heads when I said, hey, women, you're going to be the first. All your cush AC jobs and the sex industry is going to be eliminated very fast because we might not be able to touch that because we out here, right? We're not doing it. But guess what? The next generation who only orders their food from home, who does not do anything. I'm looking at the stats and just the psychology of some of these new ones coming up. They don't do anything. Even my kids, they could literally be on their phone all day. They don't have to interact. I have to stop them. I have to cut off video games and different things and try to balance them. My wife does an excellent job of having them interact with other children and different things, right? And just making sure they're touching grass. And, you know what I mean? Literally. So that's important. But this next generation, a good portion of them don't need human interaction like they used to. So that AI stuff is about to be real. And I don't know if there's some companies, I'm not going to give them any plugs right now, but they have some dolls that look real, talk to you when you come home. Well, it's already too advanced.
When these dolls are able to clean, cook, and sexually satisfy these men, that it's going to start with the incels. It's going to start with the men who are involuntary celibates who, for whatever reason, don't have successful women. They'll start with the OnlyFans subscription to the AI, where the AI responds, it talks, it's nice, and then when they get the version where they have a real life version of the AI robot, so to speak, and it does everything they need it to do, the idea of a real life person who gives attitude, who picks, I'm not having sex with you this month. Bro, so that's the starting point. Then you're going to get to, in China.
I was gonna. Oh my God!
Go ahead. I'm not even gonna spoil it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say somebody's going to come up with this technology. It's gonna be way overpriced. China's gonna reverse engineer it, steal the IP, and make it for like 5 racks. And then you're going to be able to absolutely mass produce it and finance it. Once it's on some where they can finance it and they can pay like $50 a month, or even if it's $100, whatever it is, they're gonna go ahead and do it. Asia's already experiencing some of these issues. They pride themselves on being a populous country.
Yeah.
I think that their numbers are absolutely inflated just because it doesn't make sense. They have many problems, social issues. North Korea is going crazy right now. They have banned every form of contraception possible.
Yeah.
There's a lot of countries. Asia's actually a good way to kind of see
what's coming.
Yes, the trends.
And the crazy part is because they're more advanced than us technologically, and then factoring in this concept of leftover women in certain Asian countries.
Oh yeah, after 25, they have a word for them, right?
They call them leftover women. The women that keep saying they don't need a man, it's not a priority, that's your choice. But that may soon no longer be your choice in the next 10 to 15 years if you don't make enough money to be able to sustain yourself indefinitely. I highly, highly, highly encourage 2 incomes are always better than 1. Right? So we have to adjust to what's coming because it's not going away. It is coming. And you have to figure out, as men and women, how to diversify your skill set to buy yourself additional time. If you do not do these things, you will be in the homeless shelter. The rates of foreclosures is going up. Repossessions of cars, student loan debts are kicking back in, and whose rate of unemployment went up the highest in the last 6 months?
I don't even think we gotta say it.
Exactly. So, and that's not a coming at black.
No, we
thing.
get it.
This is a early warning sign that as more and more AI develops and more jobs decrease, you're now competing with the most competitive people in the country. And forget if we still had open borders, who you'd be competing with. So this is a warning to you that there may come a period where you may have to wait 6 months or longer to get a job as a cashier.
Damn.
So it would behoove you to not just prioritize your career, but also prioritize a relationship. Build wealth together. Pour into each other. Don't let the gender war social media stuff kind of trick you out your spot and trick you into thinking that the opposite sex has no inherent value. They do. It is imperative for you to work on your stuff, heal from your past decisions and choices and trauma, and prioritize not trying to do life alone. I'm, as a man, telling you, you need to get with men that have resources or have the ability to be resourceful. I'm not telling you to be a gold digger. I am telling you that if something were to happen to me, at least my wife has the means and ability to make income. If something were to happen to her, at least I have the means and ability to hold down the fort. But when you're gambling when you hold everything in and keep so everything is on your own. So that would be more or less what my warning and suggestion is, because that's by 2035, 2040, a lot of these jobs won't exist anymore.
They won't. I truly don't believe they will.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but I think that's what we're actually looking at. I think most of they're coming for these jobs, and there's nothing we can do about it. Most of them are going to be gone, and it's a shame that we're probably going to be facing a situation where we have to just have some type of income, like we're all going to be on welfare. It makes for a simple life, but
in some ways, and you're going to give up a whole lot of freedoms to experience that. That's what comes with it.
I don't know if we're ready for that.
It's something that
sounds scary. That part right there, letting go of your freedoms. I don't like the sound of that part, but if we as a community and as men and women, both of the Black community and Americans in general, if we don't wise up to what's coming our way and see what the World Economic Forum, the WEF, and other globalist groups are pushing for and towards, if you don't see what's coming and you're not getting your finances and wealth in order over the next 5, 10, 15 years, you're going to be in a position where you're stuck and have to accept whatever the state has to offer versus being able to relocate to another country where your money goes further and longer.